to remove the winglets, we're going to remove the legs, we're going to bone the legs and leave this as a crown. Okay? The first thing we'll do is take off the legs. All sorts of strange names for different parts of the bird. This is the oyster. It's the muscle at the bottom of the leg. Okay. An omelette, a chicken omelette on the menu, and it's oysters. It's not oysters as fish, it's the oyster of the chicken, or oyster of the word that's named on it. That's the oyster muscle. Okay, we're going to remove this winglet. Take it away. One thing, if you could, for some reason, collect all your winglets, make a lovely casserole, and you can eat them up, or you can do them like chicken for your after dinner, but you'd be hungry people. Now we're going to remove, first of all, at all times I always recommend that you remove the wishbone. Just feel it with your finger before you start. You can see it. Feel it with your finger. Feel it again with your finger on that side. Run your knife down through it. Feel like that it's lifted out. Same on this side. Knife through it. Make sure it's lifted out. Catch both of them. Make sure they're clear. Just back up with your knife. Make sure you don't cut into the breast, because you only ruin the good flesh of the breast. In the chicken this will pull out. In the turkey you'll have to cut it out. Use your cloth. You'll find them slippy, sometimes they snap. This one has snapped inside, so we're going to pull off one side. Cut this one up, right up into the joint where the bone is broken there. Let's lift it up. There we go, that's the wishbone gone. Now, straight across there. You don't take the whole base away, because otherwise you have nothing to balance on. That's the carcass. That's your crown. Slightly tucked in. You can do lots of different things. You can put a piece of bacon on here to protect it, or you can just simply roast it in the oven. This won't take much time in the cooking. The reason we're doing it this way is that the meat of the leg and the meat of the breast are two different types of meat. Leg meat is a darkened meat, lot tougher than the breast. The breast will cook in half the time. So what we're going to do here is completely debone. It's underneath. Take it down around the knuckle. Easy enough. Skin over it. Just be careful you don't break it. That's the needle in the leg. Just be careful that you don't break it. When it pinches you, it gives you a deep cut. Down around the knuckle. Try and take as much of the knuckle as possible off, because you don't want it left in for it to be chewing later on when you're going to make a nicely clean bone. Turkeys, there you go. Nice, and not a sinew inside. Lovely piece of meat ready for roasting. Just leave that rolled for there. Do the same again. Just down each side of the thigh bone. Across the knuckle, down the wing, down the drumstick, around the inside. Try and roll it from the inside out. Just do it by feel. Get the knuckle. Walking away from you. Shine. One nicely done. And another one. There you go. No sinews, nothing is going to interrupt your cooking or carving of it. We're going to roll this, we're going to stuff it. We're going to roast it like this. We'll wrap it in some cling film and tin foil, roast it in the oven, and we'll be able to slice it down for cooking. Superb. We have opened up the turkey leg. We're going to stuff it. Here today we have some traditional stuffing, sage and onion. What we've done with it, we've chopped a little bit of chestnut through it. What you can do, you can put a little bit of apple or even put a little bit of cranberry, but do not cook the cranberry. Put the cranberry in its natural form, because if you put it in as a cranberry juice or cranberry sauce into it, it just runs. Whole cranberries into it, apple into it, whatever you feel like. You can put prune into it, you can put fresh plum into it if you don't want to go to prune, because it was a winter season. Dried fruits, dried apricots can go into it. You know, any of the dried fruits that are substantially flavoursome, you can put into it. You can put a bit of spice if you want to, but very minimal in the spice. And sometimes a little bit of grated fresh ginger gives the leg a completely different flavour. So stuffing is individual tastes in it, but fruit, big time. Apple is great in it. The plum and prune, same thing. Dried apricots, absolutely stunning in it.
You've mentioned there as well that we put mushrooms into our stuffing here. Is there a particular mushroom, or sorry, chestnut that we put into our stuffing? Is there a particular chestnut?
No, you must roast the chestnuts. It has to be a roasted chestnut, not just. And some people try putting chestnut puree in, and then they ring you up and say, "Chef, my stuffing tastes sweet." That's because they got sweet chestnut. You know, there's sugar added to it.
Yeah.
Sweet chestnut is great if you're going to do a dessert. Nothing better to do a nice chestnut syllabub, drop of brandy, sweet chestnut, make your syllabub with that there. But for stuffing, just the roast chestnut, make sure nicely roasted chestnut in there, and try and keep it nice round, a little bit of cling film on. Some people don't want to do cling film, they'll just tie it. But also what we'll do with this one, I'll wrap this in cling film and I'll tie the next one. It's better, I like in modern style, cling film helps it, like this here. What you do is tie off the bottom.
It helps maintain the shape.
Yes.
Are we going to poach, steam, or roast these?
We're going to put these in a dry oven, roast them, but to be in cling film, and cling film in the tin foil, and it will hold its shape. If you, by poaching them, it gives you a very boiled kind of flavour to them, and I wouldn't particularly go into, well, you can, because like it becomes a ballantine of turkey then. You know, without the stem on it, so it becomes a ballantine if you poach it. But we're going to put tin foil in this one and roast it.
And people don't have to worry about when they put the actual their leg into the oven with that has been wrapped in cling wrap or cling film.
Cling film wrapped in tin foil. The cling film will not melt. Just once again, just tie it off. You're trapping the heat and the moisture into it. The cling film will protect it. That there. When that comes out, now it'll be roasted. When it comes out of the oven, we're just going to tighten it up again, right? So that it helps maintain the shape. Let it relax for 10 minutes, and then take it out and cut it.
Excellent.
And then you don't have to worry about string or anything, because it's all there and it's held its shape.
Excellent, excellent.
Okay. We'll do this one now. We'll do this in traditional manner. Just the big muscle, just level it off. The reason you level off so it's be even in the cooking. Alright? Once again, our stuffing all ready to go. In the middle. And what I say to people is don't overstuff the leg, because you want to try and keep it formed within the meat. That's loads there. Okay. You see it coming out the end, so you know you have enough. And just get a bit of string. Dry your hands dealing with string. Some people want to do it in a big roll and wrap. It's not. It's better just simply just underneath it. Little timber hitch twice. Turn. Gone. You can go the butcher's route of making a whole thing of it, but at home, it becomes too complicated. Done. Gone. And remember, while you're doing it, if you've got waste, make sure you clear it away. It doesn't end up once, twice, tight, turn. Back in the Boy Scouts. Timber hitch. And all the way through. Let's get up here. 1, 2. Oops. Let's go back a little bit.
Now people, this is not a difficult thing to tie. All it takes is a little bit of practice. Chef has been doing this for many years, so he makes it look easy. But in reality, Chef, is this difficult?
No, just take your time. You know, don't get confused about it. If you want to put extra tie marks on it, you can. Me, I don't like putting too many tie marks on it. The only thing is about when you do it like this, you have a chance of it coming out the ends. As it shrinks, the stuffing won't shrink, you know. So that's why what you can do with this here is wrap it in a bit of tin foil just on its own. But be careful with tin foil, sometimes the tin foil sticks or whatever. But clean film tin foil for me is actually better. But you can do it like that there. If you don't got clean film with tin foil, on a tray, roast it inside. But then again, like everything else, probe it. You know, once you get to 75 degrees, it's cooked.
Fine. And another thing that people might have noticed as well is that we didn't season these before we actually begun to actually wrap them in cling and tie them, etc.
No. Sometimes nowadays, well, I think it's too salty. For me, in the reduction, we made the stuffing with butter.
And we've seasoning in the stuffing.
Seasoning that there, so you want to taste the flavour of the meat. You don't want the ball of salt.
Correct.
Right. So the seasoning's in here. When you cook this in the oven, it'll enhance the flavour of the meat. And when you cut it, somebody wants a little bit more salt. I'm just wary about putting too much salt in something.
And the reason for that is because there's a very simple thing that if people can remember, right, is that you can always add to, but you can never take away from.
Now, in saying that, I would brush the breast of turkey and I would season the skin of the turkey when I'm roasting this, because that's open roasting. This one here, just there's enough stuffing inside it.
Yeah.
If you want to come along and get the skin, pull the skin back down and stuff the crown, that's okay. Then you're adding to it, you'd use less salt on top. But for me, it's nicer if you're going to do as a family service, say even in the restaurant, when this is cooked, and that's cooked, let it relax, carve it, put your hand down, you've got the stuffing in here, you don't need to be running for more stuffing.
Correct.
In there, carve the white meat on top of it, you've got the ham, the stuffing, the black meat, white meat on top, make a drop of gravy for turkey gravy, and off you go.
And the fact as well now that we have, like, whenever we're roasting anything, we always try and keep the bone on, right?
Yeah.
The fact that we've removed the bone here, is that going to lessen the quality of the end result? I mean,
no.
Is it going to be dry or?
It's stuffed.
Yeah.
The butter is enhancing outwards, so I will just make sure, like everything else that you roast in the oven, just maybe baste it a little bit, you know. So that will give you the better flavors. If you just do it in the oven as it is, yes, it's going to be dry. But we're not. We're going to roast this with the turkey. We're going to baste it a little bit when we're cooking it. And we're not going to salt this from the inside. And the salt that we use has salt in it. The butter we have has salt in it. So the flavours. And you've got the chestnut and the apples and everything else into it. So all these are going to enhance the flavours.
Excellent.
So I wouldn't over salt.